Hello everyone, Nick Libert, EXIT Realty, coming to you straight from my home to yours. I'm sure we are all at home at this point using social distancing. For those of us in Illinois and many other states, we are under a shelter in place. I wanted to today give you some further information, some advice if you're really freaking out about the real estate market. I know there's going to be people on this live session that are real estate agents, that are buyers, sellers, investors, renters even, and I've gotten a lot of questions and I appreciate them, and so I'm going to try to continue to give you a lot of updates, hopefully from my house if I don't burn it down, and also from some friends of mine that have some specializations within the career world, the health world. So we're going to have an ongoing conversation. We used to call these Lunch with Libert, and it is 12 o'clock Central, so we are going to do this today. I will tell you that as is everything right now, it's so unpredictable. The internet connection for my condo complex just went down about 10 minutes ago, so you are on my cell phone wave, or whatever you want to call it, my cell phone internet. So if it's less than an ideal connection, I apologize to you. I am taking questions now because I had everything set up so that I've got a secret screen in the corner I could watch and my own live stream. Well, with no internet, that doesn't work. So I'm going to ask you, if you have questions, to text me. Text me those questions. We're going to hope they come in on my Apple Watch. We'll see how I can use technology or not very quickly here in the next couple of minutes. My cell phone number, if you need it, is 312-493-0920. Again, that's 312-493-0920. I do have a preset list of questions. A lot of stuff that you guys have been asking me. We've had a lot of conversations at EXIT Strategy Realty over the weekend, some Facebook Lives in our private group, a lot of conversation back and forth that have been, I think, productive. So I've got some things preset, and then obviously text me your questions, keep them very short so I can hopefully read them on my phone. But I want to start off by reminding you guys that we have a website set up specifically for this time. It's called EXITStrategyMovesYou.com. That is going to be resources if you guys are just going crazy at home. It's got some stuff for the kids. It's got some workouts for you. I really think it's important that all of us in real estate, clients alike, that we are sticking to some sort of routine, that maybe we're even trying to improve ourselves in this time, because there's a lot of chaos around us that we cannot control. There's a great graphic a friend of mine was sending around last night saying, here's all the things in the world you can't control right now, and in this little box, here's the things you can. And one of the things you can control is your health and wellness and your nutrition. So go to EXITStrategyMovesYou.com. We've got some financial stuff on there as well. I know finances are a huge concern for all of us right now. I will tell you that this is not my first rodeo with a crash. Some of you guys know that I got in the real estate market in 1998. Well, 1999 was the tech bust. I opened my first real estate brokerage September 4th of 2001, and a week later, September 11th happened, changing the world. And then I opened our EXIT Realty office October 29th, 2009, right as the real estate world was really, again, going into a very dark place. So I'm hopeful that together we can navigate ourselves out of this. I know we will, but it's going to take communication and questions and answers from a lot of different sources. And so I want to be a resource for you as much as I can. The second thing for you, if you are a real estate agent, we have some specific stuff we've opened up for you. TeamLibert.com, that's not my personal website for consumers. This is just for realtors. It's TeamLibert.com. My last name is spelled L-I-B-E-R-T. TeamLibert.com has something called Daily Dose. Daily Dose is a opportunity for you as of tomorrow morning from any real estate brand. I don't care where you're at, what state, what background, what brand. Sign up for it. We're going to, throughout this until we get through this, I'm going to have a video for you, or an item for you, or a blog piece, something for you every morning to keep you going. Because in real estate, we've always been independent contractors. A lot of us have always worked from home, but now more than ever, you have to stay focused on helping your clients, because they're in a panic as much as you are. We are all in this together. So go to teamlibert.com and go to Daily Dose. Later today, at some point, I will also be posting all over my social media and the office social media. We're going to have a special session for realtors tomorrow night that is specific to what you should be doing in terms of contacting your database, how to better organize your database, because you do have downtime right now. We are under a shelter-in-place provision, which means that you really are not moving around as much as you usually do. We're going to get to that question about Should you be moving around, and what should you be doing and not doing? I'm going to give you my answers on it. You're all independent contractors, whether you work for EXIT or not. So you have your own opinions maybe, but I'm going to give you my recommendations. But as far as consumer goes, this is really the first big question. A lot of my clients already are saying, I may not be able to pay my mortgage. I've already been laid off. I'm in the restaurant industry. I'm in the nightlife industry. I'm in a manufacturing industry that's already moving to something that I'm not going to be able to do. I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage. What you need to do is not hide your head in the sand. You need to pick up the phone right now. Don't email them. Pick up the phone and call them and sit there and wait on those long wait times and start making arrangements. Let them know that you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage. Explain to them why. There is going to be some relief allegedly from Fannie and Freddie. I've already gotten questions on, well, is my loan held by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac? You will need to contact your loan servicer. So the person that you get your statement from or your online statement, sit on the phone and figure out, is this loan held by Fannie or Freddie? And if so, is there going to be relief? If you don't, and a lot of us do not have our loans with Fannie or Freddie, and you're starting to struggle, or you think you're going too soon, it is time to pick up the phone the minute you know you're not going to be able to make that payment. If you don't communicate with them, they will not be able to help you. You are not in this alone. This is not a time to be embarrassed or have some pride. It's a time to suck it up and realize that we are all going to have to make some financial decisions. So that's question one. If you can't pay your mortgage, get on the phone with your loan servicer. If you don't know who your loan servicer is, contact your original loan officer and have them help you track this down, okay? They're going to tell you maybe, oh, I can't find that information out. They owe that to you. So second thing, should you move forward with a pending transaction? Well, I got to tell you guys, we all need a roof over our heads. We all need a roof over our heads. So right now the interest rates they bounced up and down the last week and a half. However, they are trending hopefully downward again, staying near the record lows. You're going to need a roof over your head. If you have a job right now that's stable and you know you can make that payment, you might as well go through with this transaction, because who knows what's going to happen in the coming weeks and months. Right now, if you're stable and that property is what you want, go ahead with the transaction. You're going to need a roof over your head. You're going to want to invest in real estate. And by the way, in the last real estate crash, when everything went to you know what, rent never went down. Not a dime anywhere that I have ever heard of, and certainly nowhere around Chicago. So remember that. And a lot of landlords didn't take their responsibilities seriously, didn't pay their mortgage, and I had friends and clients getting kicked out of their houses that they were paying their landlords their rent every month on time. So remember that. You might as well be in control. The fundamentals of real estate are the same, investment-wise, security-wise, even in this time of chaos. So if you're in a pending deal, I would recommend you go ahead and close. And closings are happening. I had a closing on Friday that was remote. I have a closing today that I'm not allowed in the room. It is the attorney on one side of the room, the client on the other side of the room. They sign the deal and they're out of there. There is no hugging and I will give you a bottle of champagne later if you were my client, or I will figure out a way to get it to you. This is not a time for celebration. It's time to get the deal done and out of there safely. So realtors are not allowed in the room. If it's a cash deal, you're probably not even going to close in the room. You're going to have a power of attorney and you're going to close remotely. If you're a seller, you're not going to be in the room. You're going to close remotely. Keys are going to be in a bag somewhere. Very easy to remain safe. Stay at home. That's why we're under stay-at-home ordinance. If you're in a pending deal that's closing, talk to your attorney, talk to your realtor, talk to your lender. Banks are still open and banks are still lending. So I think that hopefully answers that question. I'm going to look at my cell phone in a second for texts. Again, 312-493-0920 is my cell phone number for texts. Is it safe to sell or see homes right now? Now, this is a controversial area. In the state of Illinois, we are under a stay-at-home protection order. If you are running around because you are, as a realtor, in the essential services category, there is a clause for us. I will tell you this much though, remember, the longer people are getting sick, the quicker that curve continues to go up, the more likelihood we are going to get more and more restricted. The state of New York just took away that essential services clause for realtors last night at 8 p.m. So realtors, if you are out doing open houses, certainly none of mine are at EXIT Realty as of 5 p.m. on Saturday. Let me know if you see one and I will deal with it. But beyond our office, if you are out there doing open houses right now, how are you possibly, I mean physical open houses where you're letting people in the door, how are you possibly keeping yourself, keeping your family, and keeping the families coming in and out of the door safe? This virus does not show symptoms for the majority of the people until well after it's too late and they've infected other people. Do a little bit of research with a doctor, okay? Versus sitting there and just trying to make a quick buck. There are, though, I will tell you this much, two different circumstances that there are still showings happening. Number one, if a property is vacant and you as a realtor want to go do a Zoom meeting, have some gloves on, hand sanitizer, and you feel personally, remember, you're independent contractors, you feel personally like you have an urgent client that needs to get a home. There are people that they're under contract on their place, they're up on a lease, they're up against a wall, so to speak. They need a place to live, a roof over their head. Then get them into some vacant places, either by a Zoom meeting and virtual. The less human contact you have, the better. That's why it's a stay-at-home order. But there are some people out there that are going to have to do some business. We understand that. Take the proper precautions. Use technology, guys. FaceTime. There's a two-way thing on FaceTime. Zoom meetings. It can be with a bunch of people. I have an inspection tonight. And guess what? The inspector, I told him, showed him how to use Zoom meeting. So he's gonna have a Zoom meeting with me and the client so we can all see together where in this vacant property, any issues are. Use your technology if you have to go through with a deal, because it is something that obviously you need a roof over your head. But again, guys, be really, really careful with that. That is why we have a stay-at-home protection order. The longer we try to stretch that for ourselves, the longer we're all going to be into potentially even more restrictions on our behavior and getting people around us sicker. So really use your brain there. I'm going to use a second here to see if I can get any questions in from you guys. If you guys have been texting me, let's see, 312-493-0920 is my text message. Again, I can't see your questions, unfortunately, on the screen. Let's see here. Nothing yet from you guys. I've just answered all your questions and everything's great. I can't believe that. So I'll talk to you about a couple more things. I'm getting questions about interest rates. Interest rates, they're going to have to stay low. Now, they're going to fluctuate right now over the next couple days and weeks, obviously, with all the different things going on in the market. I will remind you guys, even though I've said it all over social media and to my client base, just because there's 0% interest rate from the Feds, that's a short-term interest rate. There is a lot of backup in what's going on with them. The short-term rate doesn't necessarily instantly affect the long-term rates, so there has to be some purchasing of mortgage-backed securities, and that takes a while, and that mortgage interest rate is going to fluctuate. So if you can get a rate locked in on a day that it's down, lock it in. Talk to your lender every day. This is a time that communication is key. Realtors, keep your phones on. I'm a little bit behind with texting a couple people back. I'm going to change that in about an hour. You guys have got to stay in contact as a consumer and as a realtor with everybody else. This is really an important time for communication, whether it's by email, phone, or text. I really don't care how you communicate with me. I will communicate with you. There's a couple of people out there trying to shove us into one communication form over another. Just communicate with me and communicate with each other. What else? Beyond mortgage interest rates, as far as how long do we see this is going, we have no idea. The quicker we get the sickness to stop in terms of, or slow down in terms of its spread, the quicker we find a vaccine, that will dramatically affect the way that this recovery happens. But your guess is as good as mine. All I will tell you is that real estate fundamentals are not going to change. You're going to need a roof over your head. But the question is, are you going to have a job? And so that is where all of us really need to, quite frankly, also stay in our routines. You're going to hear more from me probably than you'd like to. If you have a job that you're kind of feeling like you're on the line right now, you need to show your boss, your employers, more than ever that you are out there and you're motivated, because when they have to make some decisions in the coming weeks, and there's going to be some quick decisions made by some employers, sadly, you want to be the person that is the beacon. I've talked to our agents about being a beacon the last couple of days. I hope that you guys are out there being beacons, because there's so much negativity. That's one other tip I'll give you, whether you are in real estate or not. Give the TV or the social media 15 minutes and then turn it off, because nothing is going to change that's going to make you feel any better on there after that 15 minutes of getting yourself updated. There's a bunch of junk on there. There's a bunch of junk on here, hopefully not me. I'm trying not to be, but there's a lot of just stuff that's going to drag you down. Stay in contact with your family and your friends. They need it. Those of us that are extroverts, this is not a fun time for us, but social media is okay for a little bit, but do some direct calls. Go pick up the phone, use FaceTime. I hate FaceTime, and I have loved it more in the last couple of days than I've ever thought I would. Read a book. There's something else. I'm reading some good books right now. The Compound Effect is what I'm reading. Little tiny changes in your daily life can make a massive impact over time. And what a time. I've been using the hashtag It's Time on some things. What a time to be able to, in all this chaos, maybe take back control of something that we've said we didn't have the time to do. I'm going to check my phone again for any questions. This is an ongoing conversation, so if you missed the opportunity right now to ask me something, or you've got it on the Instagram Live and I can't obviously see that remotely, I will hopefully ask about it. Lana, you've got a question. Somebody asked, is this a good time to buy a house? Okay, well, so it depends on who you are. Number one, if you need to move right now, well, guess what? There are some sellers out there that are really, really motivated. Look for some sellers with vacant homes and price drops. Now, this goes back to the question that I really don't think I fully answered. Is it safe to see homes? Should I put my home on the market right now? If your home is vacant, absolutely put it on the market right now. We have photographers that I think, at least for this week, I know this week photographers are going out, God bless them, along with all the other people that are trying to really, help everybody else out. They're going out to vacant properties with gloves on. They don't want anybody near them, so you're not going to be in there rearranging. They're not going to touch anything. But if you've got a vacant home, somebody can get out there and photograph it. We can get it on the market. We are working. We are virtually working. Our entire office staff at EXIT Strategy is working remotely. If you have an earnest money check, if you're getting a commission check, if you want your residual bonuses, everything is working remotely. We have been working remotely on and off in different situations for years, so this is nothing new to us. So if you want to buy a house right now, is it a good time to buy? Go into a vacant property and, quite frankly, look at the comparables and then realize that there may be a little bit of a price negotiation, maybe a lot of price negotiation on that property available to you because of the market we're in. That property sitting vacant. For you as a seller, I feel for you. I've had vacant properties with no rent coming in. It is a scary time. So if you're a seller and you have no rent coming in, get it on the market. We'll get it on the market right away. We can do virtual showings. I've recorded all my listings so that I can show you virtually the listing top to bottom. We've got different tours available. We've got YouTube videos we're launching this week that have been there. We just haven't been doing them because we've been able to show you in person. Now we need to show you virtually. So it is a acceptable time to sell. Just be aware there are going to be buyers that are going to want a discount because of the uncertainty. If you are a buyer, you're still going to need a roof over your head. If you are a potential landlord, and if you are really scared in this market, no matter who you are, I got to tell you what I think would be the best thing to do right now. What I wish I had done instead of buying. I like my condo, it needs a little bit of a rehab, but some of you guys saw me on the deed. I think I spent most of my money on everybody else's rehab except mine the last couple of years. I wish in hindsight, I bought a 3 or 4 unit building, lived in one unit, and rented out the other 3. If this market, if this economy, if you turn on the TV long enough today, you will find some stuff that really will scare you. And if any of that stuff really happens, I cannot think of a better place to be than in a multi-unit building where you're the landlord in one unit, you've put 3.5% or 5% down because as a primary resident you qualify for that low down payment, and then you walk up and down that staircase every night and you see your neighbors, so change you're self-managed, you don't need a management company that's going to take your fees. You are going to sit there and you're going to control who's in that building. You're going to have tenants that hopefully you've carefully selected so they'll be able to make their rent payments to you, and you will have protection against God knows what could happen out there. So that is a good time to buy right now. That is a very solid, smart thing to buy right now. A 3 to 4 unit building, you live in one and you rent out the others. I've called that house hacking. I've talked about it for years. Didn't follow my own advice, just like I didn't follow some of my mom's advice when I was younger. And you know what? That's how you get on a TV show that you really don't necessarily want to be on, is doing some dumb stuff. That is a smart move. So is it a good time to buy? In certain cases, yes. Look for the vacant properties, and quite frankly, those are the only ones I think right now that I will be focusing on, because those are the ones where the sellers aren't making any money. They want to get out of them, and you want to get into them, and you can actually physically still have them Zoom meetings shown to you, etc. That was a great question, Lana. Trying to think, let's see if there's anything else. We're going to do these over and over again. So if you, again, missed your chance to have a question with me now, I'm happy to answer them as we continue to do these. One of the things I'm really, let's see, there's another question here. Will this be videotaped? Okay, will this be videotaped? Yes. Now, that is if I don't screw this up when I press stop. So there is, due to social distancing, no one wanted to hang out with me today and be here, which is the safe thing to do. So I'm doing this alone, which means when I leave here and walk away and press stop, I'm hoping to also press the right button to record this. So yes, this will be taped. We're going to send this out all over everywhere as long as I don't screw it up. Regardless, the best way to stay updated on consumer stuff, go to exitstrategymovesyou.com. For realtors, go to teamlibert.com, subscribe to the Daily Dose. It's free and it's going to be for everybody until the end of this crisis. After the crisis, it's going to be just for our agents at our brokerage. And stay tuned to my social media feeds. I am here for the duration. You are stuck with me. So add me on all your social media. Instagram, there's no limit on people, so I can be with you on Instagram and LinkedIn. Facebook, I've hit my max, but those people that are already on there know I'm on there all the time. Check my stories as well. I don't want to flood you with a bunch of stuff, so sometimes I'll put things on stories as well. Really appreciate you guys being here today. And if there are any other questions, we are going to be back for other things. I will remind you that this is a really tough time. Be kind. There's been some really nasty stuff going around. Luckily, I think for some of us, we're realizing the gravity of the situation. Be kind to each other. We're gonna mess up. We're gonna freak out. We're gonna stress out. We're gonna miss your call. But just be forgiving, because we don't know what's gonna happen next. We can only be there for each other and be kind. And maybe at the end of this, we'll be kinder and smarter, because you know what? We've got some time and it's time. Thank you very much for being here.